Joyous Raksha Bandhan. The fond bonding between a brother and a sister. Nice, that's good. Rakhi Purnima, they call it. In South, we change the sacred thread also today, what we wear. Very nice, enjoy the occasion. Happy occasion to be enjoyed. Yeah. We are going to have the Independence Day on 15th, another 3 days from now on. One side Bandhan, another side independence. Nice. Today I want to talk about something the children versus the parents of today. Sometimes in some places the children are left totally and they also behave reckless. They are given a lot of freedom, but the freedom is misused. Somewhere the parents fear that the kids may go RE and too much of control and exercise, and they exercise too much of control and the kids feel suffocated. And after a few years, they become very depressed, demoralized. How are we going to strike the balance between being too much of control and too much of freedom? Of course, freedom comes with a responsibility. Freedom cannot be without responsibility. If we have attained independence, it means that we have attained that independence after coming out of almost 500 years of Mughal rule and 500 years of Britishers' rule, and we were suffocating, and we have come out of that when we got a freedom. It means that we have matured enough to also be responsible. So, freedom without responsibilities will lead to anarchy. So, freedom with responsibility is very important. Anywhere freedom is coupled with responsibility. So, where are we going to strike the balance between the kids being given too much of freedom and kids being controlled too much? So, somewhere in the middle, we have to be somewhere in the middle. Yes, we should have a watchful eye on the kids. That doesn't mean that we don't allow them their space and time and all that. The elder should be very matured and lender should be very alert. Alertness becomes the key to many problems. Many of our problems will get solved if we are very alert. We are not alert. Problem is that since we are not alert, either we tend to give more freedom or we tend to control more. If we are very alert, we will know where to control and where to let them go free. We must be somewhere in the middle. Somewhere it is. So first the question is how alert a parent can be, how alert one can be when it comes to their own children. As the children grow, yes, they become more responsible. You cannot keep controlling a child once it is grown, maybe 18 plus or 20 plus. Once the kid is grown, there is nothing like further controlling it. Further having a control over the child is, I feel it is too much interfering with their day to day life. And when parents have lived their life on their terms, they should allow the children, once they are mature enough, to live on their own terms. And after living a life on their own terms, still having control over the children also, and expecting them to live a life according to their own dictates, I think it's not fair. It's not very fair. Some parents do it. They have lived a life the way they wanted, and when it came to the children's life, they don't allow them to live their life even after they are grown, and they insist on their own principles and philosophies. The child can always have its own principle and philosophy, because it need not follow what the parent may be following, or it might have followed when it was young. Once it is grown, it has known that this suits me today, or it doesn't suit me today, or this is not convenient to me, or my society has changed. The kid can think in any way it wants once it is grown, say about 18 or 20 years. The child knows much better, because it knows its environment, it knows if it's in a college, it knows what is the requirement there and how it has to live. So living with the old age principles may not be possible. So a parent must be able to appreciate all this, and accordingly they must if the parent maintains an attitude of more like a friend to the kid also keeps surprising the parent as to what is going on in its environment. And when certain dangerous things do happen, the parent can more advise or suggest as to how it can be handled or something like that. And it can be no without directly pointing at the kid. It can be more generalized subject where the parent can talk. So all these things are there. Nowadays it's a very tough life, and outside things are not all right, and always a parent is interested in the welfare of the child. There is no doubt about it. But that doesn't mean that even when the kid is grown and when it is supposed to live a life on its own, and when it's supposed to take decisions which will suit its life, the parent still has a control and says that no, it should be like this or like this. Then it's not fair at that stage, and so we are not doing justice. We are not allowing the kid to live life. Of course, life is always risky, and life is not secure. And as a parent, you cannot secure the life of your child. It's not possible. It's something pseudo, and every parent thinks that they provide a very secure environment. The environment at home may be secure, may outside the home it is not that secure. Then you will have problems, you will have some new things coming up, and the child actually is on the spot and it has to face. And at every point of time, it cannot rely on the parent. And as it grows, it has to develop skills to face the challenges in life. This is there. And everywhere, it's a question of experience. Experience means it may be, experience is an experience. You can't call it bad experience, good experience. It's an experience which probably is categorized like that, good and bad, but there is nothing. Experience is an experience. And the kid has been exposed to it, and it knows what effect it has on it. And the kid decides for itself whether this is necessary or not, and slowly learns. Everyone has experience, but do we learn out of that experience? We do not know. How many of us really learned out of experience? We do have experience, every one of us. When we get an experience, then at that point of time we feel, yes, this is not, that is not, but it doesn't sink into us. It takes a lot of time. Probably many times such situations we face in life, and then finally we feel, okay, this is not a requirement for us, or we cannot live with this, or we don't need this, or something like that. But everywhere alertness becomes the key. So as a parent, you will know when to be probably a little bit more controlling the child, where you must be more relaxed with the child, because the child has to grow. It cannot be a bonsai. It cannot. The child has to grow on its own. There must be inner growth. I'm not talking on the external growth. It's more the inner growth. A child has to grow internally, and probably it takes time. It has to be exposed to various things to grow better. How long the parent can carry a torch for the child? It's not possible. So you have to allow. Yes, there are dangers in the society, and the child has to face those dangers. And the parents themselves keep fearing. That is the best point. The parents themselves keep most of the time fearing, and they do not know. They don't have answers for anything. And please remember, by totally avoiding something, you cannot transcend it. Transcendence is impossible through avoidance. Provided you live with it, transcendence is possible. There is nothing like a transcendence when one is not allowed to live with certain things. Yes, in the society, there are certain harmful effects. Today, in fact, I feel the kids are more better informed than the parents. The kids know also how to handle things. I find a lot of maturity in nowadays children than with elders. The elders more lead a very rather cowardice life, and they are not leading a very courageous life to be really of a source of guidance to the youngsters. That is not happening. That is not happening. See, the youngsters should feel that they can approach the parents for any guidance. But today, the parents are more living in their own world, and either they are very scared, or sometimes very authoritative. See, you may be an authority in a subject, but you should not be authoritative. But most of the time, the parents are very authoritative and impose their whatever they think as right, or whatever they think as wrong, on even children after they are grown up. And sometimes children also succumb to it and keep fearing. When you keep fearing your parents, even after you are grown, then it means the inner growth is not possible. Inner growth is not possible. If you are very rebellious, definitely you may be violating some of the basic tenets, which are basic principles of your parents. May not be. Ma'am, see, it's not always the principles of elders is going to suit the present day needs of that society, or present day thinking of the youngsters, or the present day situation. Okay, it need not be. It need not be. See, yeah, an elder may be a very, very learned person also. There is nothing wrong. He might have learned a lot of things, but he may be not having that much of knowledge as to what is going on. He may be more a person very cowardish, and sometimes what happens is elders have an inferiority complex, and they have an ego also. Inferiority complex with ego is a very dangerous composition. It's a very, even superiority complex with ego is better, but inferiority complex with ego is a very dangerous proposition, and sometimes the kids are forced to face that. In such cases, what happens is the kids become very rebellious. They wait for some time, and they wait for the parents to understand the present day needs of their kids, or present day emotions, whatever they have got, or whatever feelings they have got, and they expect the parents to understand. When the parents do not understand, they become very rebellious and go in search of an outside source which will be better for them to ventilate their feelings, which a better outside source which can understand the feelings of the youngsters. So sometimes you can see that kids stop talking to parents on certain sensitive subjects, knowing very well that they are themselves very emotional and they are too much possessive about the kids. And so the kids start looking for some peers and some elders outside and they start ventilating their feelings and probably where they get a better sympathy or a better solution to their emotions, they start ventilating their feelings. That is where the friend circle becomes today more important than the social circle or than the parents or the relative circle. Because most of the time elders find fault with the kids. They never agree that they will also be at fault. See, please remember, to be at fault, it may be an youngster or an elder. There is nothing wrong because not at all points of time we are very vigilant or we are very alert. We are not at all points of time very alert and we do commit mistakes. It does happen. But most of the time, elders do not accept that they too can commit mistakes. They feel that whatever they do is right and whatever they say is correct, and sometimes they talk with rubbish, trash, and the youngsters are forced to hear to it. They only hear to it, they don't listen to it. Please remember. If they are very clever, they only hear to it, they don't listen to it. And a rebellion arises in all such families. And it even sometimes it breaks families. Sometimes youngsters permanently go away from the family. In fact, I know in some cases the youngsters keep fearing the elders that they may do this, they may do that, and all. But there is always a limit to that. They may be fearing up to a particular point of time. After that, the fear dissipates, and at some point of time, they are forced to take a decision because it may be something where they may have to decide because it is their own personal life and personal choices in life. I may say life is choicelessness. Okay, as a guru, I say it is choiceless. Even if you choose something, that is also choiceless. If you don't choose something, that is also choiceless. That I may say because of my experience in this human life. But for a kid, for a youngster who is not exposed that much to worldly life, they feel that what choices they make at the particular point of time, because choices have to be made at the very right point of time as far as they are concerned to be successful in life. And so they don't, if they have to make a choice and the elders keep fearing and they don't allow the youngster to make a choice, then a rebellion arises where the youngster has the courage to walk out of the elders or the family and go and choose what they choose and they try to live as per their choice. So the matter of choice, if the elder is more very experienced person, he must also talk his fears to the youngster because there will be fears for the elders also. And the youngster can also justify why the fears need not be in that place and how things have developed or how things are today. And so the youngster can also convince the elder that the fear is baseless. Okay. So such a meaningful dialogue between an elder and an youngster can happen, provided both are parties amenable to a situation. But most of the time, what happens is the elder also is very cranky and they are not prepared to listen to the youngster. And the youngster also doesn't have patience sometimes. Even after having patience, the elder keeps on blowing their own trumpet and they never listen to the youngster. And so at some point of time, the youngster takes a very rebellious decision to go and lead a life the way they want as per the choice what they make in life. So, all the more the elder has a responsibility to be more in balance. The more to be in the middle and to see both the sides. If you are in the middle, you can see both the sides. If you are in the extreme, you cannot appreciate the other extreme. It's not possible. A person in the middle can see both the sides. So, an elder is expected to be in the middle, not in the extreme. Being in the extreme, you will never appreciate the other side. You will never appreciate. If you are in the middle, you will appreciate both the sides. You will appreciate what the family thinks, you will appreciate what the youngster thinks, and you will make a decision which will be probably a balance between the family and the youngster so that both agree. But such a situation doesn't arise. Most of the time, the elder is also on the extreme. The elder is in one extreme, the youngster is in one extreme. Ultimately, the choice has to be made by the youngster. The youngster becomes rebellious and takes the choice. The elder absolutely is very experienced, and that experience the elder must be prepared to share. And that sharing is possible provided the elder is approachable. An elder becomes approachable when the elder is in the middle, not in the extreme. For the youngster to approach an elder, the elder must be in the middle, not in the extreme. Try to understand this. So, being in the middle is very important, where we will be able to see both the sides. When you can see both the sides, the family aspect of it and the youngster's argument also, then you can take a decision which will be in congruence to both the sides, and both the sides will be very happy about it. And even if the elder has some fears, that fears can be directly addressed to the youngster, and the arguments from the youngster side should also be listened to. See, basically, the elder should have more patience than the youngster. Having lived a very big life, where having seen so many things, the elder has to have more patience, not the youngster. The youngster is just stepping into the life, and so they will be full of choices. They will have choices. So the elder will have a lot of experience, and they can advise the youngster how to go about the choices. That is all possible. Provided this is all possible, if a meaningful dialogue can happen between the elder and the youngster. Most of the time, a meaningful dialogue will not happen because the elder is also fully emotional and he is on the other side, or she is on the other side. Yes, as an elder, as you progress in age, you must drop all your emotions and you must be more a balanced person in life. If an youngster is having some emotion, we can understand. After all, they have started life. In the starting of life, you cannot expect a youngster to be non-emotional. So, if the elder is more balanced and is in the middle, he can understand the emotions because he or she would have also gone through the same stage at some point of time in life. Later, they would have experienced so many things. So, if the elder still remains at the other end, then I feel it is not fair. And such an elder is more childish. Such people cannot be approached for any advice. They might have been very learned people, educated people, all this. Those things are all nothing. Today, education is what you read something and you simply vomit it in the examination and you get a certificate or something, a degree or whatever it is. That's not a big issue. To read what is already in the books and to retain it in the mind with the memory and to write it back and get educated. That is not, that is only, no, you are getting qualified. You are not educated. So the elder, if he is a very educated person, he must be in the middle. An elder who is qualified will be only, at the other end. Such an elder is only a qualified person, not an educated person. An educated person will be in the middle. An educated person can see 360 degrees around. Whereas a qualified person has got a blinder. So with the blinder, when you see, you may have a vision of only about 45 or 60 degrees. You may not have 360 degrees. But an educated person will have 360 degrees. They will know everything. So, how to be educated? As an elder, how to be, that education comes because of your experience, because of your alertness. Then you can guide the youngsters. The youngsters will be very happy to approach you and ask for some guidance. That guidance is possible, provided the elder is a educated person. Youngster, yes, they will be emotional because they have more choices in life. The elder in the middle can also advise them how a decently a choice can be made, how to make a choice can be suggested. So the elder should definitely develop more of alertness. We will meet some other time. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Guru Purnima Day. I'm sorry, it is Rakhi Purnima. The last Purnima was Guru Purnima. This is Rakhi Purnima. Enjoy the day. Have good affection, good bondage. Keep yourself secured. One should be secured to the other. Of course, life has got no security. But in that minimum insecured life or unsecured life, a little bit of security comes because of that bondage. So be very happy, joyous, live life the way you want. Experiment life. Yeah, experiment means it may be risky also. The other side of it is it gives you experience in life. God bless you all. Enjoy life.